So me and Bambi decided to come on here and talk to y'all about the impact of the surviving R. Kelly. The impact, right, Bambi? Okay, so let's do the recap. I'm gonna try to do it as quickly as possible to just sum things up so that we can have all the perspectives and the proper what really happened. So let's start from the beginning. First of all, since this is old evidence, we have to go back to when we were younger and the first trial happened. When the first trial happened, the jury came back with a not guilty verdict. People are saying that not guilty verdict is due to the fact that the person who they're claiming was in the video that everybody is talking about and so disgusted about, that person, the jury couldn't decide whether the person was underage or not underage. That person decided not to testify. They were not claiming to be a victim. Their parents involved were not claiming that their child was a victim. And they went on with their lives. The aunt Sparkle, which they don't say, I'm gonna say allegedly, according to the news channels and the reports, since they're doing a public trial, I've decided to give my public opinion. So she chose to make reports and report things to Child Protective Services on her niece's behalf. And they did their investigation, and they decided that there was nothing that there was nothing out of order. That the parental consent was in place, things were there that was going on. So, once she wasn't in the house anymore, she decided. See, this is stuff that Lifetime leaves out. Like, we have to go back to the whole real story, not just put a bunch of people on there and start saying victims. This public trial thing is getting out of control. Okay. So she decides, after she's not in the house, to not go discuss with her family. She decides to go call the law on her family and say that her niece is definitely being abused. So at the end of the day, the parents, who we cannot uh, deny the almighty power of parental consent. Like, if the parents are involved and they're there, what are we going to do? Knock on everybody's door and tell them how they're not raising their child correctly when they're responsible for their kid until 18? The decisions they make are theirs. They created the person, brought them in the world. We've all decided that the parental consent laws we can't touch that. So now, when they do all of that, they put this documentary together, bringing all of these old school victims, right, Bambi? What happened? Even Bambi knows it was a bunch of crook. So they put all of this stuff together with these old school charges, and here go the smoke and mirrors. So now, when you sit in there in the watching this documentary and you feeling sorry for the girls, which none of which in the documentary were underage. Everybody, the youngest was 16, who she signed a non-disclosure agreement. And what they leave out of the documentary also is the laws in the states, that in some states 14 is a consensual age. In other states 16 is a consensual age. Then they throw other words like respectively on there, and it's in that. So what I'm trying to figure out that they never ask in the middle of the discussion is, how are all these people seeing this tape? Like, now that they're going to court, so see, this is the difference between media, public trial, and legal court thing. Everybody is talking about a video that they seen that is allegedly R. Kelly, and he's supposed to be doing all of this stuff, and the details that they were given on the media with the graphic details. I heard him say on the radio, he was ejaculating and peeing at the same time. Like, I don't even want to say it how they said it, because they're on the public radio channels, and the details that they were given were just out of this world. Like, he was peeing on this one and ejaculating from there. It sounded like a bunch of perverts all over the TV and all over the radio that would go watch such disgust and then come back and rape our ears with those details. It's like, if we didn't want to watch it, I didn't watch that. I didn't want to watch it. I'm not God, I'm not the judge, and I'm not the jury. Okay? You decide to go watch it, and because that was your choice, you want to come back and tell us some stuff that the jury said they didn't know the age of the girl, but you want to allegedly report it as that it was definitely child porn and he's a pedophile. And these words that you using against somebody that hasn't been proven, this is where that metoo and that time's up is getting dangerous. And they're taking women back years and years for everything we fought for equality. Okay? They're turning us into a liability. Like, if you were sexually assaulted or sexually abused, especially if you wait for 30 years. A lot of these people that are coming forward, they are alleging abuse prior to the last 2002 trial. Why you didn't jump up then and say me too? Maybe then they would have had more evidence, more witnesses. When that trial was going on, some of these people are not even a part of that. And they didn't even say nothing then. Now, 30 years later, come on, this is like something, they're taking advantage of our legal system. Actually, they're trying to bypass the legal system, which the legal system already got holes and prejudices in it already. Then to throw the media on top of that and start making it into some type of, whatever the media say is your judgment. Like, what the heck is that? Because people have opinions, and what one person could deem as nasty, somebody else could enjoy it. Everybody has their sexual fetishes and preferences and what they do behind their closed doors. But what everybody forgets to say when they keep on talking about this tape that they illegally went to view, if it was child porn, you definitely wasn't supposed to be viewing it. And I remember when the first trial came out, because I was a kid, and they said, don't be watching that, it's child porn. And so if people went out there and watched it, regardless if they thought it was or wasn't not, or whatever, the child porn, you can't be sitting there after the daggone jury said it wasn't the child porn. The jury said they couldn't tell the age of the kid. The kid ain't in the video. They moved on with their life. So what Lifetime didn't do in their recap was say how on the first day of the court date, when R. Kelly showed up, they said, sorry, we still in the discovery. We ain't got no evidence. Why they ain't mention that when they did their recap? They came back, they said, oh, first court date. Oh, well, we still in discovery. Oh, well, we would like a copy of the tape. Oh, we think it's child porn. Oh, well, we still want a copy of the tape. Still ain't get a copy of the tape, while everybody on the news media and in the public is giving testimony on a tape that R. Kelly lawyer, his own defense attorney himself, has not seen, and I have not seen. Why y'all all seen it then? Why y'all all seen it? Why? Because you wasn't supposed to see it, I guess. And if you seen it and it was that disgusting to you, then well, what you want us to do? Because the judge and the jury and God forgives, and I don't know. Like, what you want me to do? You disgusted, then don't go over there. I never been to an R. Kelly concert. I ain't never had no problem listening to his music. I don't know why I never went. It just never came up. I don't know. You ain't gotta go. It's easy to opt out. There's all kind of artists out there singing all kind of weirdo shit that we don't hear about or we don't be involved with. We just opt out. You can't protest a person and don't let them go. Don't want to let them go to work or nothing. They don't even want a man to go to work. They don't even want him to go to work and get no money or nothing. But they using his name to get money, and they coming back with a recap because I guess Lifetime ain't had no more views since that first one, so they decided to do the recap. It's dangerous for everybody. If you let it go through for R. Kelly, then they might as well just steamroll all our men. Like, these women, I don't know who they are with this. They sound like some Amazon women or something that just want to just persecute all men just because they men. It's ridiculous. I love men. They make me feel good. What's wrong with y'all? And if you do have something, come forward. Doesn't mean drag somebody's name through the mud in the media. Come forward mean bring your evidence down to the police station. Let them do their investigation before you go on the TV calling people all kinds of names. It don't even make no sense, B. So let's do the recap. Sparkle called the police on the thing because she thought her niece was being abused. They did the whole bring the tape forward and everything like that, and come to find out the jury said not guilty. They didn't accept just Sparkle's word on it because parental consent rights stand. The Lisa Van Allen girl was doing the interviews talking about how she took a tape, gave it to a band member, charged him $250,000 or $200,000, allegedly, whatever. No, it ain't allegedly. That's what she said she did. And so at that time, she wasn't thinking about no victim. If she was thinking about a victim, $250,000 for the tape wouldn't have been nothing. You wouldn't have even been considering that. You would have said, I don't want no $250,000 for no tape. I want this tape to the police and the FBI because I think y'all over here abusing a baby. They ain't say that. They say, yo, I got this tape, B. I think I could get a come up off of it. Can y'all give me some money? And then when the money run out, then they want to cry victim. I'm not falling for that. You got all kind of interviews talking about the Mustang he bought her, this and that. Come on, B. She talking about $100,000 she got for a tape. I ain't never had no $100,000 one-time check cash. I could have, you know how much good I would have did with that? Huh? That's a victim? So I ain't falling for none of that, okay? All these books running around. The other one quit a radio show job. All they doing is bringing a case about this 14-year-old, alleged 14-year-old, which they don't even know how old she was, because the jury said they couldn't tell. So I don't know how old she was. They doing the media bringing the case because the victims, ain't no victims coming up at the podium saying they're a victim. The media just saying he's a pervert, pedophile, a monster. What is he a monster about? Because you watching some tape that your ass shouldn't have watched and you find it disgusting because that's not your pet peeve or that's not you're not into that. So you want to judge him if he into that? I don't know what it looked like, what y'all seen. I don't want to see it. So stop describing it to us. I don't want to see it, and it wasn't meant for public consumption. So why we don't get back to how did that get all over the place if everybody was protecting a child? If everybody was protecting a child, then the tape shouldn't be worldwide. That's like exploiting a child, if anything. It sounds like everybody's exploiting a child. Then they come back and give graphic details of what they saying was a child. How's that protecting a child? So obviously it's exploiting a child. Because every time I turn around, people is talking about this tape that they watching that they shouldn't be watching, that they should have called the FBI and the damn cops for and say, yo, look at this, what's going on. Obviously, if they did their investigations, obviously they came back and said, nah, she wasn't a child. But to me, that's not going to stop the media from reporting it like that and drilling it in your heads. And so we need to just let the system play out as best as it can. And we know there's loopholes in that. How come the Lifetime documentary didn't say, oh, by the way, Kim Fox got a lot of people started quitting over there at that office. Why the Impact? Why the Impact didn't mention that? Why? They didn't mention that. Mention Avenatti a little bit, whatever happened with him when he was running around Nike deals. They got him on tape talking about 5% of the cases, bull crap, all that. Like, come on. With the allegedlys. Or whatever allegedly the news said and all that. Let that stop doing that to people. Like, they always try to persecute ours, yo. It's like, leave us alone. Go find something about yourself. And then they blame it and say it in the name of black girls. No, heck, go a black girl, okay? I'm a black girl. You say you want to listen to black girls. Listen to this black girl. That man was on trial already once. We don't do double jeopardy in America. Y'all immigrants, whoever y'all immigrants is, news immigrants, people on the radio immigrants, whoever these immigrants that's acting like they don't understand what United States and America and what my ancestors fought for freedom and justice for all. If y'all don't understand that, then y'all need to go back to y'all countries and live the way y'all live in y'all countries. Because in America, we believe in innocent till proven guilty. If you don't believe that, go back where you came from. My ancestors fought for that. And I'm on some full-blooded colored. Like, that's what we on paperwork as because they play with us all the time. Go do a documentary about that. About all the alleged rapes they say that all the white people did to us. Go do the documentary about that and see where the cycle abuse came from. Okay? It don't make no sense, B. So on the real recap, then why they ain't do the recap on how the wife came back out talking about something? Yeah, I don't mind. He got to work. He got to do responsibilities. Then do the recap when she was on the thing saying, no matter how much money, money can't buy my such. If she thought he was such a monster, she wouldn't say, yeah, let him go ahead and bring the money back home because I need that money, honey. No, she'd be like, I don't care about the money. Me and my kids will be fine. They got reality shows. They coming back up with using his name and his accomplishments to get money from. So why they didn't say, yo, like, now she on in there like, happy people, after you dragged his name through the mud, say how much of a monster and a damn, come on, B, it's too much for money, yo, y'all gotta stop all that shenanigans for money, B. So anyway, like I said on the recap, pay attention first. Everybody's not victims. Let's stop using that word victim like it's water. The Me Too people, take y'all complaints down to the nearest police department. We don't want that on the news until somebody has some real evidence against them. If you don't have no real evidence against them, like how they ain't have no evidence, then let's do the recap how right after that Surviving R. Kelly documentary, how R. Kelly had a tour, overseas tour that he was about to go do. They panicked. They was like, oh my God, he's about to go make some money. They started calling overseas. What kind of American does that for an innocent man? What kind of American calls overseas to stop a person from working and they're an innocent person? I'm telling you, they immigrants. Check on who some of these people is, yo, that's doing this type of shenanigans. And I guarantee you, they immigrants. They either first generation just got here and they got some weird moral way of thinking that's not American. It's unconstitutional. We don't do that here. Like, we fought and died and did many wars to come to this middle ground together as a freedom and justice for all. Follow Dr. Martin Luther King or something. Like, pay attention. Anyway, loves family. I just had to get that off my chest.